So a nice little surprise that we also got during the 7th anniversary over here on the NA side of things is a roadmap for 2024, which is a bit interesting, especially if you were wondering when we were going to be getting Lostbelt 7. Was it going to come out during November? Was it going to be kind of the same time that it came out on JP in late December? And we have an answer for that, although this is really, really strange. I'm not quite sure what they're going to be peppering in for some of these weeks, because it looks like there's going to be just random spots where there's nothing. I don't know if there's going to be random, say, reruns for, I don't know, maybe like a lottery or maybe a past Halloween event, a past summer event, just stuff they wanted to just throw in there randomly, I suppose. But it's very bizarre, and we're just going to talk about that in today's video. As per usual, if you found the video to be helpful or informative or even entertaining, you could feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. But let's just start talking about this. So for one, we actually got to back out of this. We have to look first and foremost at the 2024 swimsuit event coming mid-July. Now this should be expected. Nothing here is very strange, right? I mean, the archetype Earth banner is going on until about the 16th until reset, and then we're expecting this event to drop on the 17th. Well, July 17th, that pretty much fits in. That's mid-July. That's perfectly fine. And it's a 3-week long event, so that means it'll go from the 17th to the 24th to the 31st, and then probably ending around August 7th. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing really wrong with that. I mean, that kind of fits in line with us being about a month-ish ahead of the JP version in terms of our schedule, but that's where things get a little bit strange, because this is slated to come out in early September. And just to kind of help you visualize this a little bit, I have the past events pulled up. We're still a pretty decent bit ahead over here on the, JP side of things, because our event should be ending around August 7th. It started on the 10th of August on the JP side of things. So what is this event just gonna drop on the 14th still, kind of like that early, or maybe even like the first week of September? Still, that's a lot of dead time in between the event dropping and then the last event ending. We pretty much have an entire month in between. And I mean, sure, there is stuff here. I mean, there's a 26 million download campaign, but a lot of this is not real content. You know what I mean? Like, this is a nice supplementary content. Advanced Quest Part 8 is nice supplementary content, but this is the real stuff, right? This is the real actual stuff that we care about, and it's going to be like a month behind. I mean, it's really, really strange. I'm just wondering if they're going to throw a random event rerun, which is what I'm hoping they're going to do in between there. And if so, maybe I would say you could chuck a lotto our way, but we're going to be getting 2 lottos at the end of the year anyway. I guess you can never have too many of those, I suppose. Let me not complain. If you want to give us extra lottos, that's fine. Maybe they could do a the Himiko Guda Guda rerun before they go into this one. That might be the most probably balanced thing that they could do, because that has raids, which everybody really likes. It's not like spamming lottos, and it is a Guda Guda event leading into another Guda Guda event where I believe, if I'm getting this correct, Himiko is Io is her name, is Io's mentor or like her predecessor, something like that. So that actually might be kind of fitting if they want to do that in between, because after that you'll see we actually kind of move into normal schedule. If we go back over to FGO, it's pretty much normal with what we were going to get if we just followed the JP schedule, because this comes out from mid-October, and as we'll kind of go check in a second, this does come out from mid-October. Then we have the Morgan Lotto that hits early November, and then we have Lostbelt 7 late December, right? And if we go back and look at when these originally dropped, this does fit in line with things. If we kind of come over here and look and say, oh well, mid-October, this is about mid-October, dropping around the 12th to November 2nd, which does lead into the event over here being early November. That does fit. That lines up perfectly into this dropping in late December, which I guess is a little bit disappointing. I think we were all looking forward to maybe getting this event, or not event, but this story chapter to drop, in early December, because maybe potentially getting Kukulkan a little bit early, spacing her out between her release and then, the Tiamat Draco release, trying to just spread as much time in between those so you can save up some Saint Quartz. Believe you me, it's going to be really hard to try to avoid summoning for Kukulkan to try to, max out Draco when she releases. So yeah, believe you me, I'm there with you guys. But I don't know. I think the only thing that's a bit strange is that potentially we'll just see a Gouda Gouda rerun in between, right? And if they do the raid one, I don't think anybody complains, right? I mean, Himiko comes back. That's pretty nice. I mean, she's already going to get a raid up on this banner over here, but I don't know. Maybe they can sprinkle in some other random unit or something in a event rerun with that might just, I don't know, fit in an Oberon or something. I don't know. You throw them in there for people that are missing him. Or you could throw in a extra Koyan Light banner. I don't know. Just chuck in somebody to help people out. But then we do that, and then we're kind of on schedule, which is a little disappointing. I did enjoy the idea, I suppose, while it lasted, that, hey, maybe we're slowly inching up to catching up to the JP side of things. Maybe we'll eventually get only a year behind them, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a thing. I should have known it was just to get us caught up to having our anniversary a little bit early, because, you know, ours is usually in July, whereas JP's is usually in August, which, just to kind of show people that don't know, it's dropped. Yeah, like you see, it dropped really late July into early August for them 2 years ago when they had this. But yeah, I guess let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you don't think it's going to be the Himiko event getting its rerun, what do you think they're going to pepper in there? Because they're clearly not just going to do anything. Like, and I please am just hoping they don't actually just drop nothing, because people are going to come back to this and be like, oh, see, when ZTL had faith in them and said that they weren't just going to leave us with absolutely nothing in this, what, like 3 or 4 week period, and then they just leave us with nothing. Surely it will just be a rerun. And again, I think the one with the raids, it would be a very good compensation, because the raid rewards weren't too bad, and you don't want to spam lottos, because, I mean, nobody's going to comment and say that, well, if you spam lottos, they're not special anymore, because that person's a fool. You know, who cares how many times they spam lotto? They can do a lotto every other event, and I don't think people would care. You know, it's just like, oh, every other event, we're getting dope rewards. You know, we'll definitely take that. But yeah, if they don't do that, I'm not sure what they're going to do. Although that it does make it really awkward with Himiko would be the headlining unit for that rerun event, but then she's also getting a raid up over there, which I don't know. It seems a little strange, but I guess maybe it's not unprecedented. I can't think of anything off the top of my head where a unit returned literally like 2 weeks later, aside from someone like Morgan, obviously, when Morgan dropped at the release of Lostbelt 6, and then for the end of Lostbelt 6 immediately made a return. So I don't know. Himiko and Morgan are kind of similar units, I guess. You know, they both got overcharge on NP. They both be critting, I suppose. So they got those similarities. Maybe they'll let that slide, but I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Is this a crazy talk, or do you think this is a pretty accurate roadmap? Regardless, I really like that they are doing this, giving us an idea of when these things are coming out. So we're not just sitting here coping and being like, oh yeah, so, you know, the new Gouda Gouda event is going to come out right after the summer event, but now we know it's going to go back to normal schedule, which is unfortunate, but I appreciate that they're giving us this at all, that they are just telling us, hey, this is when the stuff is coming out, and they're letting you know what you need to clear it, which I know is going to be rough for some people, but I do find it neat that the requirements do scale down, kind of, right? Like, you know, this is, oh, if you got to clear, you know, Lostbelt 4, and then you got to clear Lostbelt 5, and then you got to finish Lostbelt 6, and then boom, then Lostbelt 7 drops. So it's kind of a nice incentive to also get caught up. It's like, all right, make sure you're caught up on all your Lostbelts. You know, before this one drops, I'm sure we'll get the Road to Lostbelt 4, right? So like it'll make all of that discounted. And then before this drops, I'm sure we'll get the Road to Lostbelt 5. So, you know, it makes it easier to get through that so you can play this event. So yeah, I think that's kind of neat. So I think we have a pretty effective roadmap going forward for the rest of the year. But with that being said, I'm going to stop rambling and get out of here. You guys have yourselves a nice day. Peace.